Hey guys, Dan Hood, Big DH 2000 here. Bit of a different one. Leave that up there for you guys so you can pause it and look at it at the beginning of the video. My brother communicated with this individual who was at, I believe, I can't remember if it was the Alabama Catapult Carnival or the Tennessee Slingshot Shoot. But he started communicating with the individual who had just started doing more and more knives after making a few for family. I think that's how pretty much every craftsman starts. They make one or two for family as gifts, or the family needs something and they come up and make it, and then from there on it just balloons, for lack of a better term. But anyway, my brother and he kind of came up with a design that my brother wanted. My brother gave him some specs, some recommendations, or some ideas of what he wanted to see, and then had him make two. Here it is. Oh, I keep forgetting. I got somebody who likes to read lips, so I got to be careful. Okay, so you see this. These come all the way around, so you can wrap it around and snap it on your belt. Okay, sit sideways on the belt. Okay, you can see the turquoise in the handle and the metal down the handle, and pull it out. You can see it's Damascus. It's a carbon steel Damascus, which means it's not going to take a fancy finish. Carbon steel Damascus just doesn't. But it, how should I say this? It keeps an okay edge, but it's really easy to sharpen, and you can dress it up and hone it really fast. They're excellent for field knife and the whatnots. One thing you can see on this knife, I think I balanced it like this the other day. Yeah, pretty reasonable balance. My brother had talked to the individual that made this and said he wasn't too worried about balance. And as I explained to my brother, yeah, he said, but there's only 3 fingers fit on it. I said, yeah, but that's what the lanyard's for, to keep it in your hand. Okay, but I said, you got to understand, our hands are so big that I said, if you make a handle that fits this, it looks stupid because the handle's sticking way out here for a little shorty knife. If you want a shorty knife, get a shorty knife. I said, I usually grab this kind of knife like this, okay, or like this with the lanyard. I never put my finger in the lanyard, never, because when you're using a knife and you're cutting and you're moving, it can sometimes catch, and if it catches, the chances of you breaking a pinky are pretty high. So I never put it in, but I sometimes will wrap this like a little more solid than this is, so that it's more of a extension of the handle. But other than that, it's a very nice knife. Like I said, my brother put together some ideas of what he wanted to see, and this is what the two of them, Freedom Specialty Knives, and my brother came up with. They decided on Kydex. They went back and forth between leather and Kydex, and they said, well, if you want it to last long, Kydex is the way to go. And the secret there is, it's pretty rigid going in. So what you do is you probably just grind this until it's just the right, take a little off, try it, take a little off, and as you get further and further in, it'll slip out easier and easier. But at the same time, you want it to stay pretty rigid. So you got to figure out, that's something you got to figure out individually. But anyway, I really like this knife. Most people might call this a Tonto, but I call it more of a chisel point, because even though it does have the Tonto shape, you use it more like a chisel. I've also used I use knives like this a lot because I'm usually scraping something, skinning something, opening a Amazon box. That's what most knives. I bet you 75% of all knives are strictly used to open Amazon boxes. in this world. Anyway, beautiful knife. Thank my brother, and thank Freedom Specialty Knives for the fabrication of it. It's a very nice job, very good quality, especially on the handle and the G10 work. Excellent job. Take care.